Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dollars and Cents, the show where we discuss the business of football with Andrew Brandt of the National Football Post. A very intriguing couple of minutes each and every week. Andrew, how are you, pal?
I'm good, Sid. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, my friend. You know, I was reading a column on your site by Brad Biggs, which indicated that Jerry Jones is 31st out of 32 teams this season when it comes to actual spending with the Dallas Cowboys. Has Jerry World left Jerry strapped for cash?
I don't think so. What we have in the NFL is, as you know, a salary cap, and that allows teams to sort of be self-regulated in terms of their spending. You're going to see teams jump out year to year or every other year and have some huge spending, and I think the Cowboys fit that model last year in 2008 when they did a big deal with the following players, with Marion Barber, with Roy Williams, with Terrell Owens, with many of their players they stepped out and did these contracts with, including Patrick Creighton and even other players, Mark Colombo. So with all these deals, Andre Garrod, with these deals done in 2008, you can see a little stepping back in 2009 where the spending hasn't been the same. And also, a lot of their players are already under contract. There's not much to do. Of course, they have DeMarcus Ware sitting there that is going to need a big contract at some point soon. But they seem to be in a pattern now where they're sort of taking a year off from the multiple spending they did last year. And that tends to be what happens. If you look at a team like the Washington Redskins, 2005, 2007, 2009, big spenders, 2004, 2006, 2008, not big spenders. So the self-regulating nature of the cap allows for teams to step out maybe every other year at the most, but you'll see a team like Dallas step back as they are now.
All right, fair enough. Now, the Chicago Bears, Andrew, made a few interesting moves this week. Their quarterback, Jay Cutler, he gets more money up front in his new extension with a possible lockout looming, while Gaines Adams comes over from Tampa Bay. What are the ramifications of this trade for Chicago and the Cutler signing?
A couple of things. First, that trade you mentioned, I thought it was a very interesting trade. Not a lot happens in the NFL with the trading deadline that just happened this week. That's a trade that did happen, and what it really amounts to is a top pick from the 2007 draft in Adams. So he got a ton of money from Tampa, and it probably close to $16, $17 million over the last few years from Tampa. Now the Bears acquire him, and all they have left are the salaries, which are in the $1 million range for the next 4 years, unless he escalates the contract with superior performance over the next couple of years. So the Bears get a bargain financially. They have not have any obligation to him for upfront money. They have a couple injury guarantees left on the contract. But here they acquire the fourth pick in the 2007 draft, and they really have hedged their bets against their own free agent defensive ends coming up for free agency. On the other hand, the Buccaneers get rid of a player that, yes, they've paid a lot of money to, but they had a lot of cap room to spend this year, and they really use it up by taking the cap hit by trading a player with such acceleration on the cap. In other words, they paid him so much signing bonus earlier, they have to take the hit for trading him. They use up $11 million of their $15 or $18 million of cap room left. So a trade that works for both sides. So the Bears save money. In other words, they're not going to be paying a first-round pick next year. They didn't pay a first-round pick last year. They have a decent investment in Gaines Adams. What do? They take their money and use it on their franchise quarterback. An extension for Cutler for $20 million guaranteed, $30 million new money, comes out to $50 million over 5 years. So an average per year of $10 million, an average per year of New Year's of $15 million. You know, people are saying, well, that's not a big deal compared to what Eli got, what Phillip Rivers got, but it is a big deal with a guy that has 3 years left on his contract. And that's something that the Bears addressed. Cutler and his agent, Bus Cook, came to the Bears, said, let's do this. Let's take away the uncertainty. 2011, he had a big roster bonus. It's not guaranteed. You know, there might be a lockout in 2011, so who knows? So again, a good week for the Chicago Bears. I know they lost Sunday night, but it's a good week for them off the field with a couple moves they made.
Agree. They did lose that tough game in Atlanta to the Falcons, but they're on the right track. You can tell once Matt Forte starts to be able to run that football, they're going to be a much better football team. Tom Brady now taking on a role within the Players Union, Andrew. Maybe he even realizes something has to be done with this rookie salary structure when he's making less than guys like Jamarcus Russell and Matthew Stafford, guys that haven't done anything, making more money than Tom Brady?
I saw this note in Boston papers this week, and it didn't get much attention, but I think it's a big deal. Even though it's only an alternate, he's not the player rep for the Patriots. But a player like Tom Brady getting involved in the union management relations is big. I mean, anytime you have an A-list player like Tom Brady becoming involved in the collective bargaining negotiations, that's a big deal because he has so much power. He's one of the most powerful players in the NFL, in addition to being one of the best players, because his name carries a lot of weight. So, yeah, a lot of players just join the union, get the free trip to Hawaii in March, get to vote on some things. But I think this guy's a serious guy. He's obviously extremely bright, and he's going to bring a lot to the table. So he's got two negotiations to look at. One is his own, where Jay Cutler just got addressed with almost 3 years left on his contract. Tom Brady has less than 2 years left on his contract. So he'll have to figure out his own. And then he has to figure out the union management negotiations. He'll get involved with all the other player reps and listening to what's going on there. And as you mentioned, the important thing there is this rookie salary structure is obviously getting panned by both the owners and the players, especially a guy like Tom Brady, who has seen players like Mark Sanchez, Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, Jamarcus Russell pass him by on the contract front. And even a guy like Jay Cutler, who's now passed him by on a second contract. So he'll have to get involved, and he is Exhibit A in terms of rookies coming in and making more than established veterans. Here's a guy who is clearly one of the top 5 players in the NFL, and he is being passed by these rookies who haven't played it down. So having him on the team that's not only negotiating the deal with the owners, but negotiating his own deal is going to be a big deal.
Wow, very intriguing stuff. Andrew, as always, thanks for all the tremendous insight. I look forward to this each and every week. We'll see you right here next week again on Dollars and Cents. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sid. Look forward to it every week.
You too, pal. Thank you. You can also follow Andrew on Twitter at AD Brandt and catch all of his great writing, and he is great, at nfpost.com. So for my friend Andrew Brandt, I'm Sid Rosenberg. And as always, folks, enjoy the football.